International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 98, provide today's giveaway here at Citizens Bank Park. Yep, it's the Cole Hamels t-shirt. It's a great day for baseball, the Phils and the Arizona Diamondbacks. What is up with Sunday baseball for the Phillies? They've lost the last 9 Sunday games. Schmitty thought it was him, but it's also been on the road as well. So the Phils hope to change that here this afternoon against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. I'm not even going to ask you about the Sunday win-loss record. Let's talk about Martin Prado. For years, he seems to have killed the Phillies. It doesn't matter if he's wearing a Braves uniform or if he's wearing a Diamondbacks uniform.
Well, he's a guy that doesn't try to do too much when he's hitting. He has a great approach of hitting. He hit the ball all over the field, occasional power. He's a guy that you can't really double up on. You have to try to mix up. Here you see a curveball, drives to left field for a home run. He has very quick hands. Fastballs away, he can drive to right field. Curveballs, we saw a home run. Changeup, he works the middle. So he's a guy that stays within himself, but with occasional power.
Well, you talked about you can't back up pitches against him. Before that home run given up by Cliff Lee, he threw him a curveball that he missed, so he adjusted well. And here against Antonio Bastardo, well, he's able to keep this one in the yard, but it's part of a 5 RBI night last night, which tied his career high.
Well, he's the type of guy that does the little things. He can get guys over, he can hit and run, he can bunt for base hits, plays solid defense as well. So Kirk Gibson's very excited the way he's played this year. And really, besides Goldschmidt, he's been the MVP of that team.
All right, so today he's down in the middle of the order where he's been at the top, toward the top of the order for the first couple of days of this series. All right, the Phillies do hope that they can counter with a guy in the middle of their order, and that's Marlon Byrd. What a year Marlon Byrd has had for the Phils.
He really has. He's been solid. First of all, his defense has been outstanding all year. He's played every day in right field, going out there making plays. And you can see these highlights. He's a very good low ball hitter. When he gets in trouble, it's the fastballs that are elevated. That's why he's swinging through and misses. But last night, here he hits his 20th home run. And his numbers have increased over the years. And I'm a firm believer that, one, he's a student of the game. He understands how to elevate. He watches other guys hit and learn how to hit the ball in the air. He cheats in certain situations and sits on certain pitches. Fastballs down and in, he crushes. As long as he can lay off that high fastball, he will continue putting big numbers up, and I hope to get 30 home runs this year out of him.
Yes, so that would mean he would surpass last year's total of 24. All right, so it is the final game of this 3-game series between the Phils and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Roberto Hernandez, rubber toe, gets the start for the Phils, his 19th start of the season. He'll be opposed by Vidal Nuno for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Well, Kenny Giles last night was lights out for the Phils. He was electric, not only with his fastball, but also with his slider. In all honesty, he's been one of the biggest bright spots of 2014. When we return, the lineups at first pitch. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Toyota, where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, introducing one deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Budweiser, a reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting, designated driver. And by Independence Blue Cross, the most preferred health plan in the region. Independence Blue Cross, live fearless. We are also. The Phillies have taken the field behind right-hander Roberto Hernandez. The finale of this homestand and this three-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sunshiny afternoon. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in center field, Ender Inciarte. David Peralta, the left fielder, bats second. Paul Goldschmidt will hit third, followed by Miguel Montero and Martin Prado. Gerardo Parra in right field, he'll bat sixth. The bottom third of Gregorius Ahmed and Vidal Nuno. And they will face Phillies right-hander Roberto Hernandez. Hernandez in his 19th start, 22nd game. He's 4-8 with an earned run average of 4.25.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball pretty good. As long as he's getting on top of his fastball, getting that sink, and work quick, he'll continue to get a lot of ground balls over and over. As you can see, the Budweiser scouting report, 90-94 mile-an-hour fastball, changeup slider. Pretty good numbers, 1-1 with a 3.60 ERA. That is our Budweiser scouting report.
Well, he's just about ready to go. He's got a different battery tonight. Will Nieves is doing the catching. All right, Matt, it's time now for our Nissan keys to today's ball game.
Well, my first key is for Hernandez to get back-to-back wins. We will go into more detail about that in a little bit. And also to change the pitching approach versus Prado. He's been a guy who has been hitting the ball all over the field, and we've got to try to figure out a way to get him out on a consistent basis.
Ryan Sandberg taking a look at Hernandez warming up. You see Sandberg has that commemorative patch on his jersey today. All of the players do. It's in honor of the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, which are underway up in Cooperstown, and the 75th anniversary of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Well, here we go. Ender Inciarte will lead things off. Quietly had himself an impactful game yesterday. He did not start yesterday's ball game, but he did just that. He bunted and got on board. In fact, he finished with 2 hits and 3 at-bats. 253 overall, home run and 9 runs batted in. Voted the quickest player in the Diamondbacks farm system. Last year, Ben Revere comes running in, retired him, and went away.
Well, he hits a line drive up the middle to our fastest guy in center field, with Ben making a very nice play in center field. Great read, great jump.
That's a good point. We talk about Ben sometimes not always getting the best jump. He got a really good jump on this one.
Well, he did. It was a sinker away, line drive. He recognized it right away. First step came in and made a nice play.
And that'll bring David Peralta to the plate. He has started 2 of the 3 games. Did not start yesterday, but came in late. A lot of double switches by Kirk Gibson. Resulted in a 10-inning victory for the Diamondbacks. Peralta's 1 for 5 so far in this series. Overall hitting .317. Change up. 1 ball, 1 strike. One of the issues Roberto has had is winning here at Citizens Bank Park, as that one's lined over the glove of Ryan Howard, and a base hit to right field for Peralta. Roberto 0-5 with an ERA of 3.67 over his last 7 starts here in Philadelphia. Quite frankly, a couple of those games he didn't pitch all that badly. Still couldn't get the win.
Well, a lot of times that you see Hernandez pitch, he gives the team an opportunity to win. He might not go deep into the game, but when he leaves, it's either a close game or they have the lead. And you're right, over the last 0-5, he's running some tough luck at home right now.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt hitting .308 with 18 homers, 66 runs batted in. He has 2 hits in the series. He's walked 3 times. And he takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Probably the warmest day that we've had over this series against the Diamondbacks. One ball, no strikes. A high fly ball, center field. Ben Revere was playing deep. Speaking of the warm temperatures, let's take a look at today's current weather conditions. Brought to you by Oliver Heating and Cooling. Visit OliverHeatCool.com. 90 degrees and humid today. You're not in Canada anymore, Matt.
Nope. That I'm not. It's warmer up there today than it is here.
Is it really?
Yep. I don't know. I just said that.
I was going to say, you just try to one-up us. There's Miguel Montero. He was off yesterday. Montero hitting .261, 11 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Fastball just outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Tuffy Goswitch did the catching last night for the Diamondbacks. He finished with 1 hit in 5 at-bats. A slow roller to the right side. Picked up by Hernandez. Utley will get there just in time. Oh, no! They'll review that one, I would think. I'll give Montero credit. He was hustling up the line. Here comes Ryan Sandberg. Dan Iassogna's the first base umpire. He made the call. Now, naked eye, I thought he was out. Let's watch it here through slow-mo. Utley went with his outside foot, not his inside foot, to apply the tag on the bag. He's out. That wasn't even close. All right, so they're going to review this one, and Jimmy Rollins is already walking off the field.
He's trying to sneak off, get some water.
So Dan Iassogna and Dale Scott will head out. So Montero, he's planted over at the first base bag. Watch it one more time. We said Utley went with the outside foot. And he was able to make that tag, and they've quickly overruled the decision by Dan Iassogna. All right, so that's why replay is there to help out in things like this. The putout goes 1-4, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. Electrical Workers Local 98 giveaway here today at Citizens Bank Park. Now that youngster is representing on behalf of IBEW Local 98. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at center field, Ben Revere. Jimmy Rollins, the shortstop, bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Marlon Byrd. Darren Rupp starts in left field today, and then the bottom third of Ashi, Nieves, and Roberto Hernandez. They will face left-hander Vidal Nuno, a kid out of Southern California who's 2-6 overall in the big leagues this year, 0-1 with the Diamondbacks. He began the season in the Yankees organization. So for the D-backs, 0-1, a 3.78 ERA, 14 strikeouts in 16 2/3.
And the Budweiser scouting report on him is a fastball, tops out at 90, curveball 74-79, slider 85, change 84. And he was traded from the Yankees, like you said, on July 6th of this year. Yeah, the Yankees got Brandon McCarthy, and the Diamondbacks got Nuno for 1. Nuno had a very good start his first time out.
And since that time has had a couple of rough outings. Ben Revere will lead it off. Revere 1 for 2 last night. Overall hitting .438 against the D-backs this season. One ball and one strike. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Dawn Blair from Clarksboro, New Jersey. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Dawn will win $100. One ball and two strikes. Revere 5 for 16 on this homestand for the Phillies. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball toward left, playable for Peralta. And he puts it away, 1 out. And that'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the plate. Rollins 2 for 11 in the series. Mentioned that Nuno was acquired from the Yankees with Brandon McCarthy and some cash. Brandon McCarthy's pitched well for the Yankees.
He had 3 appearances, 2 wins.
Yeah, he's gone deep into games too, which they were having issues with. The Yankees were. Jimmy Rollins takes the strike, 0-1.
Well, Nuno, before he got traded, was having a hard time in the Yankee Stadium. His numbers on the road are a lot better than they are pitching at home.
Now, that would surprise a lot of people. But if you've been there, which we have, for a World Series and some regular season games, they talk about the ball jumping out of our ballpark here in Philadelphia. Yeah. The ball absolutely jumps out of Yankee Stadium. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rollins. 241 hitter, 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. And he gets it foul. It's 1-2. The story about Nuno is that he was originally drafted by the Cleveland Indians, as he gets Rollins to pop one up on the right side. And Gregorius makes the catch, and then was released by the Indians and signed by the Yankees, and went to spring training in 2013 with the Yankees and was 1-1 with an ERA of 0.61. He was named the rookie player of the year in spring training. And we always say that sometimes when guys pitch well in spring training, you give the manager, the pitching coach a look. Well, then he eventually got brought up to the big leagues. So out of baseball, in independent ball, signed by the Yankees, and eventually in the big leagues. All before the age of 26. He's now 27 years old. Utley has hit in 3 straight games, hitting .293, and it's 2-0. Kirk Gibson, 335 wins. Close it in, Matt. Close it in on the Diamondbacks all-time, the top spot for the all-time leader in victories by a manager. Needs 2 to tie Bob Melvin.
They've gone through quite a few managers in a short period of time.
The guy that led them to the World Series championship is doing television now for them, Bob Remley. I thought he would be the all-time winningest manager. 3 balls, 1 strike to Chase Utley. Outside, ball 4, a 2-out walk. During the 2014 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream. Sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. That'll bring Ryan Howard to the plate. Those numbers right at the bottom are the surprising ones. He's always hit well here at Citizens Bank Park, but not in 2014. That one's hit well. Out toward left center field. On the run is Inciarte. Gone! Two-run home run for Ryan Howard, and the Phillies have taken the early lead. It's probably not a full sigh of relief, but there's a sigh of relief. 16 home runs for Ryan, 62 runs batted in. Good for him.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I got goosebumps by watching a guy hit a home run. Fastball low and away, nice easy swing, drives at the left center. The head down, good balance. Very nice. You can tell he's awful happy.
And he made a winner out of Dawn Blair of Clarksboro, New Jersey. She's just won $100 of the McDonald's home run jackpot. Well, extra base hits have been hard to come by for Ryan. We've talked about that. He only had 2 extra base hits in his previous 106 at-bats. It's only his second home run since the 20th of June. But who knows? Maybe that gets, as he said the other day, maybe that gets him going and he can finish up 2014 on a high note.
Well, you go back to his last 2 at-bats versus left-handers. Oliver Perez last night hits a line drive to right center for a single. Now comes up and hits a home run left center for a home run. Confidence. That's all it is. Hitting is confidence.
Breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Marlon Byrd. Kind of a cool scene down low. Byrd hit a foul ball. It bounced in the Diamond Club. A young fan came inches away from grabbing it. An older fan picked it up as that one is pulled out toward left center field. Looks like it's playable for Peralta on the edge of the track. He makes the catch. Side is retired. Anyway, after the older fan was cheered, he then gave the ball to the young fan. Oh, you feel like a youngster anytime you can do this. That's what Ryan Howard just did. An opposite field home run, a 2-run shot. He's given the Phillies the early lead as we go to the 2nd here in Philly. The Phillies will take on the New York Mets here at Citizens Bank Park, and it's the start of Alumni Weekend on Friday, August 8th. Toyota Roy Halladay Bobble figurine, that's free to all fans. Saturday the 9th, Charlie Manuel will be inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. That's brought to you by Toyota. Come on out. Let's fill the ballpark for Chuck. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets for that series. Martin Prado takes a strike. It's 0-1. Or as Charlie was apt to say, and we used to love it, Martin Pardo. Used to make us laugh when he used to say Prado's name. 280 hitter, 5 homers, 42 runs batted in. He finished a triple away from the cycle last night, and he said after the game, I'm just not fast enough to think about a triple. Although he does have 4 on the year.
It's a big curve by Cliff. We talked about throwing back-to-back pitches to him, and that was the second pitch in a row, the curveball. And this time he kept it fair and hit for a home run.
One for 7 lifetime against Roberto Hernandez. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hernandez is averaging 4.6 walks per 9 innings. There's a base hit to left center field. Revere is going to try to cut it off and keep Prado at first. He's thinking 2, but Ben does an excellent job of keeping him at first. Second hit for the Diamondbacks. Well, earlier today, the Tour de Shore, and our buddy Greg Murphy, he had a team that he sponsored. They began from the Irish Pub in Philadelphia. And there's Murph hobnobbing, giving some folks some positive reinforcement. He had he had 125 riders. He raised over $27,000. Murph throwing hugs all over the place before he finished the race, 4 hours and 40 minutes. CSN Phillies D Lynham, some guy with a mohawk on top of his helmet. There's his group. Right in the middle is Murph. So they did a great job. Congratulate all of them for not only their efforts, but just the chance to see the sights. 4 hours and 40 minutes, Matt. What do you think about that?
Pretty good chance I'm still biking right now.
And chafed beyond belief, I would think.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But you know what? Anytime, it doesn't matter what you do. If, my golf tournament or selling calendars for the SPCA, riding whatever charity's done is a great cause. It's worth it. And I imagine Murph will be a little sore tomorrow.
Little sore.
But you know what? It's all worth it.
Ground ball right side. Howard dives, has it, throws from a knee. He gets the lead runner. Have a day already, Ryan Howard. 3-6 on the putout, 1 out.
This is a nice, it comes off hard, makes a nice play, dives, doesn't panic, throws on. Dang, it's a tremendous throw.
Very, very athletic play.
That might be the best throw he's made all year.
Certainly had a lot on it.
And he's capable of doing that. Hitting's full of confidence, so is defense.
Well, it means that Parra switches places with Prado. D.D. Gregorius is the batter. By the way, just getting back to the Tour de Shore, they raised nearly $700,000 together. Murph's team raised over $27,000. We saw Commissioner Charles Ramsey. It's been a tough weekend here in Philadelphia with those 3 youngsters who were killed in that carjacking. Commissioner Ramsey, part of the kickoff. It's the 27th annual Irish Pub Tour de Shore. Gregorius takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Their goal was to raise $700,000. Last year they raised $624,000. And that money was donated to 23 local charities. Boy, it does an awful lot of good. Gregorius hitting .293 in his last 13 games. He takes a strike. It's 2-1.
A lot of times with charity events, I know we raise a lot of money for different charities, and the players or the people get the credit for it, but it's actually the sponsors. You got to tip your hat to the people that are willing to donate the money that make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 balls and 1 strike, and make it happen every year.
Right.
The fact that they've done this for so long.
Yeah, and I have a golf tournament in Canada that the funds go towards the SPCA and minor league baseball up in Fredericton. And you have your name on it, but it doesn't matter. It's we raise $50,000 every year just for the SPCA and minor league baseball, $50,000 to $60,000. And if it wasn't for your major sponsors and people coming out and supporting and going to your auctions, it would never work out right.
3 balls, 1 strike to Gregorius. Ground ball foul. Well, part of the storyline with Murph too is every time we'd have these long extra inning games, we'd go back into the office and man, I'm supposed to train tomorrow early in the morning. And he's going like 40 miles at a time for these training sessions. I think he only made 2 or 3 of them, right?
If that.
And last night we just patted him on the back and said, "Go get it, big guy."
I dropped him off at the hotel last night.
Runner goes, a cue shot up the third base line. The A-base is hustling to try to get it, and he throws out Gregorius. 2-3 on the putout, 2 outs here in the second. Up to second goes Parra.
A little squibber off the end of the bat, and Nieves does a great job of, first of all, finding where it was and coming out and turning and throwing a strong throw to first base. I could never do that because my eyes would still be closed probably if I was catching.
Plus your head be spinning all over the place.
I'd probably hit that ball girl down the right field in that throw.
Well, here's Nick Ahmed. Ahmed has hit in 5 of 7. Outside, 1-0. Ahmed is 1 for 8 so far in this series with a sacrifice. Two balls and 1 strike. That's Kirk Gibson that you can hear in the background. I think you can hear him because I know I did. He yelled, let him get it up before you call it a strike. Strike zone was a topic of conversation after last night's ball game too for both teams. That one is rolled foul. Phillies up 2-0 thanks to a home run by Ryan Howard. This is the number 8 batter for the Diamondbacks. Just don't want to make a mistake with Ahmed because the pitcher's on deck and Nuno is not used to hitting.
And I think that's the reason why the tempo slowed down a little bit this at bat. They've had a few times he's shaken off and stepped off, and I've gone through a different type of sign. So, but then you get 2 balls, 2 strikes, you go for the strikeout. And
he goes for it here, and he slices it down the right field line. That's going to score a run. Bird gets to it quickly. Ahmed on his way to second. The throw not in time. It's an RBI double. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Well, I guess so much for being careful with the number 8 hitter. Not a bad piece of hitting by Ahmed to pick up his second double of the year.
Yeah, and it was a slider that was supposed to be low and away, and it just backed up and stuck his hands inside of it. Like you said, a nice job of driving that ball to right field on a mistake pitch. Usually hangers get pulled. He kind of stepped in the bucket and drove it to right field.
Well, the Phillies lead it by 1, so now Nuno 0 for 3 since coming over from the Yankees. To the right side, and Utley waits for it. So Hernandez allows 1 run on 2 base hits. He leaves 1 in scoring position. Phillies lead is cut in half. We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's 2-1 Phil's lead. Smartphone. Get the free Philly Sports app by downloading it now. CSN Philly Sports app. You can download it right now to get caught up on everything going on around the world of sports. Not only here in Philadelphia, but also beyond. We head to the bottom of the second. Darren Ruff will lead it off. Well, it's Sunday. We mentioned the Phillies haven't done all that well with their win-loss record on Sundays. Usually, this is the time where we would turn to Mike Schmidt and he would give us a comment about why they haven't played well while he's been watching them. But Mike is not with us today because he's up in Cooperstown for the induction ceremonies, which are going on right now as we speak. So Mike will be back with us in a couple of weeks when we return home. That's Alumni Weekend when the Phillies are here. Darren Ruff takes outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Ruff 1 for 2 so far. Double and a run scored in this series.
This is here where Darren Ruff is so valuable to the team, where if he needs to fill in at first base, he can. If he needs to play the outfield, he can. Power off the bench as well. Very important to have that guy on your team that can play different positions and show power at times.
He'll be retired by Inciarte. 1 gone here in the second. Yeah, I think for Darren's sake, we probably would have seen him, I don't know if you agree with this or not, Matt, a lot earlier if it wasn't for the injuries. He was going down his last time just to get some more at-bats because he wasn't getting at-bats here. And then he injured his knee and his wrist, so that put him on the shelf. And it's just kind of delayed his season. He was going to make the team out of spring training before the oblique injury. Here's Cody Ashley. He's hit in 3 straight games. He homered in yesterday's ball game. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
when you think you can figure this game out, another twist comes at you. And who's to say if he wouldn't have got injured, he might have started playing more in left field. Now all of a sudden, Dominic Brown's hitting over 300 this month. He's starting to swing the bat well. So everything happens for a reason in this game, and
you just don't always understand the reason.
You just can't try to figure it out. That's why day to day you just play it.
It is so true. There's things that happen in this game where you're like, really? 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ashe, who's driven in 3 runs in this series against the Diamondbacks. That one's off the hands, a loop to center. And here comes Inciarte.
Everything in this game is you try to figure it out, no chance, and it's all second guessing. Manager wise, player wise, why would he do that in that situation? Why would he swing at that pitch in that situation? It always comes down to it.
Well, it's like last night when Ruiz was up in the 9th inning. They decided to hit and run instead of bunting. Ryan Sedberg, when he talked about it today, he didn't blink. He said, he's our best hit and run guy. He goes, I wanted to try it. He said, I know I could have had him bunt there. He said, but I wanted to see if I can get Brignac over to third. Well, whether you agree with it or not, we were talking about it last night. I thought they would bunt, but he decided to roll the dice, and he said if it wasn't the slider in the dirt, he probably would have at least gotten Brignac up to second base. No balls, 1 strike to Nieves. Pulls that foul. Here's to Budweiser. Here's to baseball.
I thought Murph would have hired a cameraman today to follow him as he was doing the bike.
I really thought he was going to get a GoPro and have that while he was doing it.
Sweet.
It would have been good if he had the GoPro the other day when he wiped out. Ground ball to third. Martin Prado throws out Nieves. I'll leave you hanging on that one.
Yeah, this is the first I've heard about this one.
Phillies go down 1-2-3. We'll go to the third. See if you guys can text Murph and ask him about the wipeout. Go to the fan section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, here's the question. Who holds the Diamondbacks record for most home runs on the road in one season? Most home runs on the road. Now, we're not asking you what that total is. It's a lot. We're just asking you for the person. Answer will be revealed a little later on. Matt has already written, just so everybody knows out there that's wondering, Matt has already written down his answer. And I'm going to glance at it real quick, and I'm not going to reveal it, but he is correct. Top of the third, Ender Inciarte.
Okay, let's go back to this quick Murph wipeout. I want to hear this.
Well, he kind of said it in passing the other day, but it was his final workout before the Tour de Jour. And Inciarte takes a strike, 0-1, and he said he was braking at the end of the ride and he hit a bump and he wiped out. So his hands were kind of they weren't bloody, but they were cut up a little bit. Out toward left center field, Ben Revere tracks it down, 1 out. I thought he told you.
No.
What if he told Jamie?
No.
Or if Jamie was in the office when he was telling the story. I don't think he told Jimmy. There's Jimmy Salome, who is hoping for a chance to talk on microphone today. He's doing everything that Murph usually does. He's talking to Alec about fantasy baseball over in the first base well. Although Murph wouldn't wear his lanyard on television. That pitch is low. John DeSangro, our associate producer, would wear his lanyard on television. Peralta singled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. 2 balls and no strikes. In between innings, Jimmy was leaning on the rail. All those kids behind him were like, I didn't know Murph had a beard.
And he shrunk. He's a little shorter now.
High chopper to Utley. And with 2 outs, Paul Goldschmidt will be the hitter. I don't know if if Jimmy even has the microphone on or not. The other thing is he's doing he's perspiring more than Murph perspires while on air. Goldschmidt fly to center his first time. 1 ball, no strikes.
See, now we've seen Jimmy a few times take Murph a coat.
Yep.
You almost think someone would walk down and give him a bottle of water or a little fan or something, wouldn't you?
He does need to stay hydrated. There are a lot of fans in the stadium today. Not only people,
Literally,
but also fans that were given out as folks were coming through the gates. Off the outside corner, 2-1 to Goldschmidt. See the fans? I keep looking down. It keeps catching my eye, the reflection. Under the glove of Hernandez, backhanded by Utley. Easy inning for Roberto. A couple of ground outs and a fly out. Not too shabby. We played 2.5. Anybody needs Jimmy to talk, he's ready to go. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. By W.B. Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Chevrolet, visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Roberto Hernandez, one of the more entertaining hitters in the game today, will lead it off.
I don't know if I'll enjoy watching Hernandez hit or Hunter Pence.
It's almost. I mean, Hunter makes more contact, obviously, but Roberto has got a little bit of a jiggle in his step when he's swinging. Ready? No. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. Roberto has 2 hits in his major league career, both this year. There we go. 0-2. He makes contact and fouls it toward the Hall of Fame club. And it remains no balls at 2 strikes. When I say that he's one of the more likable guys, it is true. He's always laughing. And he misses that curveball. That's not fair. First strikeout for Nuno. And 1 gone here in the third. And back to the top of the order for Ben Revere. Ben flied to left his first time up. David Peralta's playing left field today with Inciarte playing center. No balls and 1 strike. To the right side, Goldschmidt. Couple of quick outs here at the bottom of the third. And that'll bring Jimmy Rollins to the plate. On Monday, August 18th, the Phillies will welcome in the Seattle Mariners. Mariners are battling for the wild card spot in the American League. It'll be a 3-game series. Ryan Howard bobblehead free to all fans on Tuesday the 19th. The Citizens Bank Business Person Special and Modell Sporting Goods Kids Run the Bases the final day. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Ryan's the reason the Phils are leading today 2-0. Two balls and 1 strike. Rollins out front, and it remains 2-2. And Rollins lines one to right center field, a base hit. 2-out single. Today's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. Bill and Angel are calling today's ball game. They're a couple booths over from us.
It's a good at bat by Jimmy. Gets a curveball, two hits, a foul. Comes back with a very good slider down, takes it. And then on the 6th pitch, it's a line drive to right field, which we haven't seen a lot of Jimmy hitting the ball to right field as a right-handed hitter.
I think that's a good point. Usually when Jimmy hits it as a right-handed batter, he's pulling it.
He's pulling it hard on the ground, or he's elevated to left field.
Utley walked in his first appearance. Rollins with 19 stolen bases, been caught 5 times. Let's see if he's trying to figure out Nuno's move here. Phillies haven't faced Nuno at all during the regular season. The only batter that's faced him before today was Marlon Byrd. Off the end of the bat toward left center field, Inciarte. Man, he can fly. And he takes care of Utley. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Phils here at the bottom of the 3rd. So we're through our first 3 on this Sunday afternoon. Fanatics ready to go, and the Phillies lead it by 1. Fusion Laminators, a super fast, super easy way to laminate and protect your best work. Order yours today from who but WB Mason. Top half of the 4th inning. The Phillies lead the Diamondbacks 2-1. Miguel Montero will lead it off here at the top of the 4th. Well, in between innings in the 3rd inning, at the end of the 3rd, each and every Sunday the Phillies honor the military, and they ask a representative to come out to change the base over at 3rd and the base over at 1st, and that's Captain Michael O'Neill of the United States Army. Now, Michael not only changed the bag today, but Michael is also the gentleman who will bring the headsets out to the umpires when they talk to New York. If there's a play that needs to be reviewed, he's already been out a couple times. So Michael not only has the honor of sitting in his Army fatigues, but also got a chance to change the base, and will be in full uniform today. Dale Scott and one of the other umpires goes through a review. Specialist Miguel Valdera was the other gentleman who was out on the field today changing first base. It's nice that ball clubs are able to do that. San Diego does unbelievable stuff on Sundays to honor the military out in Southern California. And the Phillies have done this all season long and in past seasons. It's nice to give some of the locals who are part of the armed forces a little recognition. 1-2 to Montero. Change up, and he's a strikeout victim. First one of the day for Roberto Hernandez. Well, it's time now for our Geico quote of the day. It comes from Martin Prado on dealing with the trade rumors. I don't like change. That's why I work so hard to fit in with the team that I used to play for and this team. I like it here, but I've been learning along the way that it doesn't matter how much in love you can be with the team. When they start not believing in you, it's time to move on. Well, there's some truth to that. Sometimes trades are made not because a team doesn't believe in you anymore.
Right.
They may not believe in
the way it's going.
The way it's going.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes. 1-1. Yeah, if the Phillies happen to trade, let's say, Marlon Byrd, they certainly believe in him.
Right.
I mean, offensively, he's been outstanding, and he's been very good defensively. But they may not believe in the way this team is heading right now. Problem with Prado, and it's not really a problem. I shouldn't say it's a problem, but you know, he is due $22 million the next couple of seasons. He signed a 4-year deal with the Diamondbacks when he was acquired from the Atlanta Braves. 2-2 to Prado. So a team has to decide that for the next 2 years after this season, he's worth $11 million a year. Fly ball to center. And therein lies a problem.
I did not know that salary was that high.
Yeah. It's good for him.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Congratulations, bud.
Here's Gerardo Parra, who reached on a fielder's choice and then came around to score after he was aboard the first time. Foul ball. One and two to Parra. Parra's another guy that people have talked about that the Diamondbacks may move. Outstanding defensive outfielder. Has over 100 hits this year. He has scored 50 runs. Got to the one he scored earlier today. Chopper off the plate. Rollins behind the bag. Oh boy. Ball took an extra hop there at the ends. Roberto Hernandez has retired the Diamondbacks in order in the last 2 innings. He has set down 7 in a row. He's nurturing this 1-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Valley Honda. Visit your local Delaware Valley Honda dealer or shophonda.com. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. By Budweiser, here's to Budweiser, here's to baseball. And by Dodge, visit dodge.com or your local dealer today. Roberto Hernandez has allowed 3 hits through 4 and just 1 run. He's retired 7 straight. And now he'll watch as Ryan Howard, Marlon Byrd, Darren Ruff. We'll start it off. Howard drove a 2-run home run out to left center field his first time up. Pulls that one to first, and Goldschmidt will flip underhand.
Back in the first inning, it's a fastball down the zone. Nice bounce, nice easy swing, drives the ball to left center over the State Farm for a big 2-0 lead at the time.
We take a look at our Mazda leaders. He is tied for first with Chris Davis and Buster Posey with RBIs against left-handed pitching. Even with all the trouble that he has had this year, he's 20 RBIs, tied with Chris Davis and Posey. Granderson is climbing lately, he has 19, and then Anthony Rizzo. That home run, by the way, by Howard went 407 feet. 0-1 to Marlon Byrd. It's pulled to short on 1 hop. Ahmed. Yeah, there are 2 outs for Darren Ruff.
Ahmed has a very nice arm at shortstop. He doesn't have a Tulowitzki cannon, but he's got a very good arm.
I think it says something, though, too, that he's still playing short and Gregorius is playing second for the injured Aaron Hill, since Gregorius is basically a shortstop. A very good defensive shortstop, too. 1 ball, no strikes to Darren. He flied out to center his first time up. Phillies got the 2 runs in the first. That's it so far. There's ball 4. So Ruff draws a walk and a base runner for Cody Ashe. Darren does have that ability. He runs deep counts. And that time I think he was surprised that it was ball 4. And that'll bring Cody Ashe up. He flied to center his only time up. 0 for 1. And a fly ball to shallow left. Ahmed, the shortstop, gives way to Peralta. And the Phillies go down quietly in their half of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. 4 in the books on a sunshiny afternoon here in Philadelphia. The Phillies up 1. Stuff the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, Matt, the question is, who holds the Diamondbacks record for most home runs on the road in one season?
Well, that would be a buddy of mine, Luis Emilio Gonzalez.
That is correct. He had 31 home runs on the road in 2001. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing. Jeep Stump the Fans.
That was the year he hit 57.
Yeah, so, well, that's the part I saw you write it down quickly, so I figured you knew what his overall total was, and you just deduced that he had to hit a pretty good amount of those on the road. Here's Gregorius, who tapped one up the third base line his first time up, retired by Nieves. And 1 ball and 1 strike to him. One ball and 2 strikes. Mention the patches that the players are wearing today on their uniforms, honoring the Hall of Fame, the 75th anniversary of the Hall of Fame. The umpires are wearing those patches as well. Over to third. Ashley takes it on the big hop. 1 out for Nick Ahmed. You know, earlier this season, when Lou Gehrig, the anniversary of Lou Gehrig's speech, baseball players and around the league wore the patch honoring that anniversary, and of course this one too. It's always a great day. In fact, they're expecting, not expecting, they now know that it was a record number of people that were up in Cooperstown, a very small town. If you haven't been up there at all, record number of people, 100,000 plus for this year's induction ceremonies. No balls and 1 strike. Our own Scott Fransky is up there because the first play-by-play broadcaster he worked with, Eric Nadel, the Texas Rangers, is being inducted, or was inducted yesterday, into the broadcasters wing of the Hall of Fame. No balls, 1 strike. Chopper left side. Rollins charges. 2 outs. Here are the 6 members being inducted today. All right, Matt, whose speech is going to be the funniest? Bobby Cox, Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux. What do you think?
The funniest? I mean, the one I would like to listen to the most, this gentleman right here, Bobby Cox.
I would agree with you.
Coming from a very poor area, sleeping in the locker room, to now being in 2014 Hall of Fame.
Nuno hits it in the air to left field. Darren Ruff into foul territory. He makes the catch, stumbling a little bit as the gate opens. He made sure everybody was okay and then said, why was that gate opening like that? It's a 1-2-3 5th inning. Roberto Hernandez is now retired 10 in a row. Little defense for Darren Ruff, who was saying hello to the folks in the first row. Friday, August 22nd, the Phillies welcome in the St. Louis Cardinals to Citizens Bank Park. 2 night games and then the day game. Great giveaway on that final day, the 24th. It's the ShopRite Back to School Gym Bag, free to fans 14 and under. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com for that 3-game series against the Cardinals. Last of the 5th. Will Nieves, Roberto Hernandez, and then the top of the order. Well, thank goodness for the 2-run home run by Ryan Howard. Vidal Nuno, since that time, has only allowed 1 hit and 2 base runners.
Well, we've seen a different approach with the Phillies hitters after the first inning. You see 20 pitches in the first inning, and since then we've seen 37 in the last 3 innings. I was going
to say, those 30 innings went by fast.
Last night's game felt like it was 30 innings.
It certainly did. Will grounded out to third his first time up. Big rip, and it's 0-2, a foul tip. Nieves, a former Diamondback. He turns on that one. The long ball has been an issue for Nuno this year. Counting the one he gave up today, he's given up 16. Excuse me, he's given up 19. 15 with the Yankees. 4 now with the D-backs.
And I believe 14 of those are at home.
Counting Yankee Stadium and Chase Field. It's funny, too, because he's a lefty. You would think that lefties would fare better than righties at Yankee Stadium because it's such a short porch in right field.
And plus it's a wind tunnel going out there.
Oh, yeah. I remember 2009 in the World Series, even in the regular season before that, watching some of those baseballs. Oh, was it Teixeira that had the broken bat home run?
Yep.
He literally broke his bat and hit a home run. I mean, that's happened before, but you hear the bat snap, and then all of a sudden you see the ball go into the seats in left center field. That was during the regular season. High pitch. Did he go? No.
Well, in the old Yankee Stadium, their batting cage used to be like a long tunnel. So it's not like the average tunnel or the batting cage now. It was longer, plus it had a screen that would go down in front, so you had to hit line drives and ground balls.
Huh.
It wouldn't allow you to get the ball in the air.
Interesting.
Because a lot of players would go up in there and want to hit that 5th deck, which to me, I see no reason. There's nothing wrong with that.
It looked cool when you did it.
Oh, my Lord. BP's for fans. It's not to get your swing right. That's what the cage is for.
Chopper foul past Pete Buchanan. Now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag PhillyFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown at an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Nieves looked like he was fooled on that pitch, and he's a strikeout victim. Second strikeout of the day for Nuno. And with 1 out, Roberto Hernandez will hit.
Looks like Will was geared up for a fastball. Got to change it down the bottom of the zone.
Up the first base line and foul. He's trying with that curveball. Look at him laughing. Threw him another one, and it's ball one. Dale Scott's going, come on, guys, give him a fastball at least. Down on strikes for the second time. Hear the crowd in the background go, oh. There's Marte laughing a little bit. Monday night at 11, Marshall Harris talks with Grady Sizemore about battling back from numerous injuries to get back to the big leagues. And we'll join Jimmy Rollins as he helps local families learn about the benefits of healthy eating. Don't miss Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Mercedes-Benz on Comcast Sportsnet. How come we weren't invited to that healthy eating segment, Matt?
No idea. They haven't seen our office the last couple of days.
There's a lot of cakes and pastries in that office. Not too many people are objecting to those cakes or pastries. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off the hands. This will be a tough play. And Ahmed got to it quickly. And his momentum carried him over to the first base bag. A strong throw. A 1-2-3 inning, so we're through 5 here in Philadelphia. Phillies had a 2-run home run from Ryan Howard, and they've let that stand up as we'll go to the 6th. Also the 2014 Phillies Heart and Hustle Award winner. The only award in Major League Baseball that is given by former players is awarded to those who demonstrate a passion for the game of baseball and best embody the values, spirit, and traditions of the game. Roy Halladay said of Chase, he plays the game for all the right reasons. We couldn't agree more. And Utley's newest honor is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. On to the top of the 6th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies lead it 2-1. That is Jeremy Velez, who was dancing with the Fanatic in between innings. The Fanatic dance, and then all of a sudden, his mom, Yori Velez, surprised him. She's been away, deployed in Southwest Asia. And she just arrived back in the States this morning. And I know for the folks that are down on the field, it's unbelievably emotional when they see their mother or father or their loved ones coming back after a long deployment. But man, oh man, is it a moving moment for everybody getting a chance to see that happen. So it's nice to see them reunited. As Ender Inciarte reaches on a leadoff double here in the top of the 6th inning. That youngster was down there doing a little dance, all happy and everything like that, and then even happier when he sees mom coming out from behind home plate. Pretty cool. All right, so now the tying run is in scoring position for the Diamondbacks. That ball was hit hard by Inciarte. It's his 7th double of the year. And it's the 4th hit for Arizona. And here's Peralta. Ashley even with the bag at 3rd. Howard back behind the bag at 1st. And he slaps it foul. 0-1. Fouled away. 0-2. So after retiring 10 straight hitters, now Hernandez has a runner in scoring position he has to deal with. It's the first hit, Matt, since the double, and the second by Nick Ahmed.
You know, he's been throwing well. He's been getting the changeup down, the fastball down in the zone, getting ground balls. Hasn't got a lot of strikeouts today, but he's throwing strikes and allowing his defense behind him to help out.
Toyota Major League scoreboard. Yesterday the Reds shut out the Nats 1-0. Today it's the Nats shutting out the Reds 3-0. 2-run single by Adam LaRoche. As Roberto asked for Will Nieves to come out to the mound. Every time the Phillies pitchers retired the opposition 1-2-3, which Roberto did in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Way inside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Back toward the box, knocked down by Hernandez. He peaked late. Inciarte broke late, but they get the out at first, 1 away. Inciarte almost got himself in a little bit of trouble. 1-3 on the putout.
Well, the runner at second does a good job with the comeback to freeze. And then he actually he's kind of reading it right there and anticipating that he's going to throw the ball to first base.
Yeah, that was a good job on his part.
Yeah, it was.
I originally thought that he was indecisive, but he saw the angle of Hernandez's body, right, and realized that Hernandez didn't really look over the correct shoulder. And once he put him in position to throw, or saw him in position to throw, he took off. Well, now Goldschmidt is the hitter. He's 0 for 2. He's fly to center. He's grounded out. The Phillies play the infield in a 2-1 ball game here in the top of the 6th.
Probably safe to say after this next road trip, you might see some PFP.
I think there's a pretty good chance. Gosh, they've done it so much this year too, haven't they?
Well, they have, but if you're going to make mistakes in games, and I'm not saying that's a mistake right there. I mean, you want to get an out, and he gets the Peralta at first base, but we've seen 2 times back-to-back games where not covering first base and a ball hit to the right side.
Diamondbacks today before the ball game, they weren't in full uniform, but they took a full infield and outfield. That's it out to right field. It's well hit. Bird going back toward the wall, makes the catch. Inciarte will tag, and we are tied up at 2. Sac fly for Goldschmidt. RBI number 67 for him.
So you're saying they were taking infield outfield today?
Yes, they
were.
The field. They were taking infield outfield, and it was almost like high school or Babe Ruth or Legion. They were taking infield outfield, after the outfielders finished with their rounds, they then took fly balls while the infielders took a regular infield.
So just like a spring training infield outfield routine.
Pretty much, with a little extra twist where the outfielders continued to take fly balls while the infielders were taking ground balls.
I like it. What that does is just get the old blood flowing. You're not sitting around in there laying up, eating cheese steaks, watching TV.
Well, I'm sure they still ate the cheesesteaks.
Yeah, but at least he's now, yeah.
Kevin Steinhauer and the boys down in the visiting clubhouse, they can make themselves some cheesesteaks.
That they can. Tremendous.
1 ball and 1 strike to Montero. Pulls that one to first. Howard stays down on it. 3 unassisted. And that'll do it for the 6th inning. But the Diamondbacks tie it up on a sac fly by Goldschmidt. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Phillies with just 2 hits today, tied at 2. Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Buy AT&T, mobilizing your world. And buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Bottom of the 6th inning, Diamondbacks 2, Phillies 2. Roberto Hernandez staying hydrated in the dugout. He's pitched well today. This is one of those games where he and a lot of others have been, locked in this year, where he's done a nice job and the offense has managed only a couple of runs here. And therein lies one of the issues on Sunday, where the Phillies have lost the last 9 Sundays. Really no rhyme or reason to it. Most times it's been day game after day game because of the way the national television
last time, May 18th. So they won the last Sunday game. You always look for that happy flight. You always want to win on getaway day. Yeah. It makes the flight a little happier.
That one's pulled to the left side. Prado throws him out. Utley's coming up. Utley fly to center his first time up. That one's in there. It's 0-1. Utley is now tied for 9th in doubles here in 2014 with his 26. 0-2.
Nunez is a very nice game so far. Everything he throws is down. Even the home run that Ryan Howard hit out of the ballpark to left center was a fastball down in the zone. And he's not very often he's up in the zone.
Yeah, it's a guy the Phillies have not seen before. We said Marlon Byrd is the only one that had at bats against him. That's pulled hard, but on one hop, Goldschmidt will take it to the bag. 2 outs. Oh, here is Ryan Howard. 16th home run his last time up. His team leading 62nd RBI. For that home run and for each one hit this year, one tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society as part of Home Runs for Trees, a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of a project to restore the region's tree coverage. For more information, visit phillies.com/red-goes-green. 0-1 pitch. Fights it off foul. Here's the home run in the first.
It's a good pitch, low and away. Better piece of hitting by Ryan Howard. Jumping out 2-0 lead in the first inning.
He lays off 1-2.
I watched Ryan's reactions after his second at bat, and he kind of gave the hands a clap like he was sitting on curveball and he got it and he just missed it. So it's nice to see that he's going to sit on certain pitches and react then.
See if he can win this battle again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 6th. Playing the pull with 3 infielders on the right side. And there's ball 4. All right. Second walk in the last couple of games for Howard. May not seem like a big deal, but it is, considering part of the reason he was having some problems, that he was just free swinging at almost everything. Now Marlon Byrd is 0 for 2. He's flied out. He's grounded out. You're right, though, Matt. He has been down in the strike zone. Yeah, with just about everything. And when he wants to be up, he's up purposely. It's not like the ball's just sailing up.
Right. I can think of maybe 4 or 5 pitches that have been up in the zone, and each time Montero has given that sign that he wants the ball up in the zone.
Try to go back-to-back the same spot. This time Byrd held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Marlin. Matt, what does it mean to hit 20 home runs in the season for a hitter?
I guess it depends on what type of hitter you are. I mean, if you're a guy that's used to hitting home runs, it's nice. I remember my first time I hit 20, I was thrilled. And then all of a sudden, like, you know what? I want 30 now.
3-2. Howard will be off. Yeah, because I would think that there's certain in certain categories, there's certain sort of milestone numbers for, let's say, a power hitter. Right? You know, for a guy that's hitting for average, it might be 200 hits. Howard goes. That pitch is fouled. It remains 3-2.
I mean, I think 20 is a nice number. It's a very nice number. For me, when I was playing every day, I wanted to try to average 5 a month, 4 to 5 a month. So it's nice that number, especially your first time getting 20. I was very excited.
And for Marlon, getting 20, it's happened later in his career.
Well, we talked about it in the Open, and I think for him, he's a student of the game. He watches it. That's how I learned. I watched guys, their approach, their swing, what they said on a certain situations.
Fly ball shallow right center field. Gregorius backpedaling. Still backpedaling. He dropped the ball. Howard's around third. Heading home. The throw to the plate. He is out at the plate. And Ryan Howard is saying, wait a minute. Montero blocked the plate. Here comes Ryan Sandberg. They're going to hold the defense. I don't think the throw took Montero into the path of Ryan Howard, but we've got to see it again. It looked like he was set blocking the plate. Dale Scott saying the throw took him into his path. Watch this here, folks. He's set blocking the plate. So he did not give Ryan Howard a path. They're going to review this one. And if they go by rule, then Ryan Howard should be safe at the plate. The Phillies should have the lead. Darren Ruff immediately said something. Ryan Howard then backed it up. Yeah, there's no path. Matt, would you agree there's no path?
I would agree right there. I mean, the throw.
The throw beat him.
Yeah.
And by rule, Ryan could have run him over at that point.
Should have.
But he still stayed in the path to block Ryan Howard from doing anything. Again, whether you agree with the rule or not, and in a lot of ways, there's a lot of people that would like the rule to go back to the way it used to be. Whether you agree with the rule or not, by rule, if you read the document that Major League Baseball sent out, he should not be allowed to sit there and catch the ball from Inciarte and not give Ryan Howard a path. So Howard should be awarded home plate. So they'll take a look up in New York. Ryan was looking. He was searching for an area because he knows the rule that you're not allowed to target the catcher, as they say. That's the way they phrase it. Off the glove of Gregorius. Inciarte, a great job to back it up. Yeah, the throw did not take him there. Well, they're taking a long look at this one. Always tough to predict, particularly. I think it's tough to predict with this particular rule right here. To me, anyway, it's difficult to predict. Now, they're not going to make the decision. The folks in New York will make the decision, and it's up to their interpretation. We mentioned that the pamphlet that Major League Baseball has sent out on replay is 2 pages. It's pretty succinct, and it's pretty easy. The paperwork they sent out on the blocking of the plate, it's pretty long. And there's a lot of legalese in it. It's not as succinct, so you got to piece through it. But ultimately, when you piece through it, you find out that there needs to be a path for the base runner, and the catcher cannot block the plate at any point before having the ball. Now, this is almost 3 minutes.
Isn't this the same play that we had in Cincinnati with Marlon Byrd?
Yes, it is. And the Phillies did not win that one. Here we go. Safe at the plate. And the Phillies take the lead 3-2. They'll tell Marlon Byrd to go to second. Here comes Kirk Gibson. Now, he might be given some latitude here. You're not allowed to argue anything that's reviewed. But he might get some latitude here just so he can get an explanation. And it all depends on the umpire. So the call is overturned, and it's based on the experimental rule that says that a catcher needs to give a base runner a path to the plate. It's 3-2 Phillies. And oh, by the way, they looked to see where Marlon Byrd was, and they award Byrd second base. You don't see Byrd in the picture. Now you see him. Again, a lot of it's open to interpretation. Here's where Marlon was. They're looking at this to see where he was when the tag was made. And he's just about at second base, so that's why he's awarded second. Again, all of this is open for interpretation. There may be a day where the reverse happens.
Right. Well, in that situation, there's no way you can argue that the call should have stand.
Well, now Darren Ruff is the hitter with a runner at second. And Ruff fouls the first pitch off.
But I did like the fact that Dale Scott talked to Kirk Gibson and gave him an explanation.
Absolutely. I think
I think managers should have the right to, even if it gets overturned or not overturned.
Hey, listen, there have been, I think it's 3 other plays at the plate that have gone totally against what we understand the new rule to be. So that one is how we understand the rule is supposed to be implemented. But it's the first time, I think, this year that it's actually, well, it's definitely the first time it's worked in the Phillies' favor. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the bottom line is the ball should have been caught by the second baseman.
Should have been caught by the second baseman, yeah. And he was backpedaling, or Parra should have called him off in right field. Ground ball to third. Martin Prado has it. Darren Ruff is taken care of over at first. The Phillies, though, do get an unearned run to retake the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 run, no hits, 1 man left. And the Phils, well, you got to follow the rules, Matt. If you follow the rules, a lot of times you have an advantage over everyone else. And this play here was overturned, and the Phillies were awarded home plate. Well, time now for your local Honda dealers game summary. The Phillies were helped out by instant replay on 2 different occasions in this ball game. Nick Ahmed has an RBI double for the Diamondbacks. Nuno's pitched well. He's allowed 2 earned runs, 3 runs overall. Ryan Howard has a 2-run home run. He has scored twice today, and Roberto Hernandez will go to work here in the 7th with Jake Diekman warming up behind him. And the first pitch is taken low. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Martin Prado.
You know, we get caught up in the pop-up, drop, you know, the challenge at home plate, blocking home plate. Don't forget the great at-bat by Ryan Howard to get on base.
Fly ball to left center field. Darren Ruff into the alley. He makes the catch, 1 out. These lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They were to receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. And that, there they are, is helping you bank better. Citizens Bank, good banking is good citizenship. Well, it is a good point, Matt. He was behind in the count and he had to work his way back. Gerardo Parra is 0 for 2. Swing and a miss, 0-1. That one's out to second base. Big hop for Utley. Roberto Hernandez probably would hate somebody to say this, but if he can get through 7 and then they can go to the bullpen, and then I look up and say that he has 74 pitches. All right, so that's what I said. He would hate for somebody to say this, but I think it's partly because of the way he's pitched at times this year. You're like, how long do you stretch him out with a 1-run lead? All right, so you got to give him the 8th inning. Gregorius hustling up the line. That's a 5-pitch inning, and he sets the Diamondbacks down in order. It's the 4th time today he has a 1-2-3 inning. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. The Diamondbacks and the Phils, the final game of this 3-game series with the Phillies on top. Ben, we'll talk about that play with that bright green tie he had on today. Not what he would wear if he was behind the plate, of course. Still looks like he could play, though. There's no question about that. I saw him earlier today. He's at the ballpark as he was doing some radio work on WIP earlier. Double duty.
Double duty.
Triple duty. He had radio work, and then he was doing the pregame and then the postgame as well.
Busy man.
Busy man. Head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Phillies lead it 3. But I do think that they're going to. With 31,514 on hand here today. Our thanks to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 98 for the great giveaway. On hand here today. Our thanks to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 98 for the great giveaway. Chopper back toward the middle, and that'll be a base hit for Nieves. A one-out single. Dominic Brown's coming up.
It's the first hit since the third inning.
Yeah, that was a single by Rollins in the third. All right, Dominic Brown off the bench today, hitting .232. 7 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Phillies did have a couple of right-handers, or do have a couple of right-handers on the bench. Carlos Ruiz, Andres Blanco. Now, for a left-handed batter, is this a tough lefty, the way he comes at you? I mean, is it? And I'm not saying all lefties are harder. No, some lefties are harder than others.
Right. No, he's an average left-hander. I mean, he throws 90-91 with the slider and changeup. With him coming off the bench or facing him, he's shown that he really hasn't been able to throw fastballs inside to a left-hander for strikes. So you can go ahead and look out over the plate.
Throw over first. Nieves is back.
And I mean by an average lefty, I mean with his velocity 91. He doesn't have that great two-seamer.
Or that big looping curve.
Right.
That was a slider that was up, and it's 2-1 to Brown. The slider again. This one was down a little bit more.
Usually when left-handed hitters get in a hitting slump, it usually comes from facing too many right-handers. You get in bad habits. So it's nice to face left-handers because it makes you keep that front shoulder in and think about hitting the ball to left field or staying through it, knowing that if you pull off a little bit and your reaction is just a hair quicker before you see the ball, there's no chance of making the contact. So now you lock that front side in a little longer.
I would think if you're in a slump as a left-handed hitter, you just don't want to see a lefty.
No, you do, actually.
It's interesting.
Because everything slows down. You let the ball get deeper.
Breaking ball, and it's 3-2. All right, he's sending Nieves here. 3-2, 1 out, 1-run lead.
I would say no.
Diamondbacks are wondering, and Nuno almost threw that one away.
I mean, if you do decide to take off, you do have your leadoff guy coming up next inning leading off, but I would say no.
He goes, and the pitch is fouled back.
See, what do I know?
Sometimes you throw it out there, you see.
But I like it. They talked about it in spring training and fundamentals and being aggressive. Running with less than 2 outs.
I think I would prefer aggressiveness over passiveness. Yes. Nieves goes again. That ball's popped up. Montero will give it a look out of play.
It's interesting to see Nieves is coming off that quad injury. How many times are you going to send him right here?
I still think he's going to go.
I agree with you, but
kind of forgot about the quad injury, but you're right, because even his last game, he was still limping just a little bit. Swing and a miss, and Brown is struck out. Nieves didn't go on that one. There are 2 outs. Top of the order, Ben Revere's coming up.
It's a good timing for Ryan Sandberg right there to put the stop sign on here. After a couple of foul balls, he's not getting very good jumps. He just put the stop sign on him and allowed Dominic Brown to hit.
Ben Revere goes there. And it's 0-1. Foul ball overhead of Rollins. Down and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ben Revere.
Kirk Gibson's showing a lot of confidence in the left-hander. This is the 117th pitch.
Career high pitches for a game. Revere out toward left field. On the run is Enciarte, and it's off the glove of Peralta. Out to the fence. Nieves is heading home. The throw to the plate. Montero drops the ball. A run scores. It's a 4-2 ball game. Another error by the Diamondbacks. At least I believe that'll be scored an error.
Well, the only thing with that might cause it not to be an error is that they're playing pretty shallow in left field. Peralta has a long run. Now, one thing I was watching there is as they were lining up the home plate, if you can watch Montero, he moves in towards the line and towards center and towards the pitcher's mound. So when he first initially lined up, he was lined up perfect, like he was going to receive the throw like the old days.
Right.
But then all of a sudden he moves his foot over. He gets all twisted up with his hand, and he couldn't turn the hand over to catch the throw.
And he was back, too. Yep. He wasn't up. He was back, trying to avoid any controversy. And he wasn't able to hang out of the ball. A break for the Phillies and a pitching change.
Sarah Post.
Follow every Phillies game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv, game of the day, and much more. Download on the App Store. Visit Phillies.com today. Bottom of the seventh inning, 2 outs, 4-2 Phillies on top. A pitching change for the Diamondbacks. Well, you probably have realized by now, but we've had some technical difficulties over the last inning or so. We apologize for those. It looks like everything is back and working properly. Matt Stites will take over for the Diamondbacks. And he'll be on to face Jimmy Rollins with a runner at third. They did score Ben Revere's ball, an error to David Peralta, his 4th of the year, to allow the runner to score from first. Give Nieves credit. He was moving with 2 outs. 1 ball and no strikes.
And give credit to Ben for being on third base as well.
Absolutely. Up high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
A little different offensive game than last night.
A little bit. Little bit.
20. How many hits last night? 27 combined? 32. And today we have 7.
With 2 errors, 2 costly errors. 3-0 to Rollins. Three balls, 1 strike. 33 hits last night combined. Rollins pulls it toward first. Goldschmidt will take it to the bag. The Phillies get another unearned run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's their 2nd one of the day on the error by David Peralta. We'll go to the 8th inning. Phillies up 4-2. Local Nissan store for the ride of your life and save big today. Buy the Pennsylvania Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. And buy the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Dominic Brown remains in the ballgame and is in left field for the Phils here at the top of the 8th inning. The new pitcher is right-hitter Kenny Giles. So Giles will pitch the 8th inning. 17th ball game for Ken. Last night he was able to get 4 outs. He struck out 3 hitters. So he'll face Nick Ahmed and then Nick Evans before we get to the top of the order for the Diamondbacks. Last night Kenny Giles had 3 strikeouts to wrap up his outing. And man, oh man, did he have a wicked slider. There's one to Prado. On the outside corner, a fastball. And look at that slider. He had the hitters way off balance. They were anticipating 97, 98, or 99, and then they got whoop.
Okay, Charlie.
So he'll face Ahmed to start it off. First pitch is outside, 1-0.
Ought to be young. Throw between 96 and 100 and paint on the corner.
One of those strikeouts last night, we saw him paint on the corner. Another fastball, and it's 1-2 to Ahmed.
That's where the game has changed over the last few years, is the amount of relievers that come out of the bullpen and can consistently throw upper 90s. You never saw that 10, 12, 15 years ago. You might have saw one person, unless you're with the Cincinnati Reds with the Nasty Boys.
And now it seems like everybody's throwing.
Well, it's the scouting report is just kind of boring. Yeah, 95, 96, curveball, slider. Next guy comes in, you're like, yeah, well, he has the same stuff as the last guy had. I shouldn't say boring. It's
well, it's powerful.
Powerful. Power arms.
Giles is ready to go. Nick Ahmed takes longer than most to get ready in the box. And he tries to fight it off. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and it remains 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got it with a slider. 4 straight strikeouts for Giles in back-to-back outings. Nick Evans is coming up as a pinch hitter. And it's time now for the Major League Notebook. Brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy University. Well, the Hall of Fame has changed its rules for induction. It used to be that a player would be on the ballot for 15 years, but they've now cut it down to 10. And I think there's a lot of people that are in favor of that. Some people think it should be even less than that. But it does change some of the thought processes of some of the guys that are involved in the steroids era. But how about Troy Tulowitzki? 15,000 T-shirts were given out yesterday in Colorado with Tulowitzki's name spelt incorrectly. Instead of giving out vouchers, the Rockies decided to still give out the T-shirts. Hey, it happens. It does.
Shouldn't, but it does.
It does. 2 balls and no strikes to Nick Evans. Tulowitzki today is under fire because he's on the East Coast to get his injury checked out. He's going to be in Philadelphia tomorrow. But today he was up at the MLB fan cave, which is no big deal. A lot of players do that. But then he went to the Yankee game. Yankees and Blue Jays are playing. There's ball 4 to Evans. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of folks that are all too pleased about that. So a walk to Evans, and Ender Inciarte will be the batter.
So I take it Evans hasn't finished his contract yet for over in Japan.
Well, there was word in the press box that it's probably going to happen in the next day or so. Last night, his teammates, after he hit the home run, they were bowing to him as he was coming into the dugout. Ciarte takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, so Evans, we don't know this for fact, but there's every chance that at some point tomorrow or Tuesday he may be heading over to Japan, where the Diamondbacks may have sold his contract. I think the T's are crossed. I don't think the I's are dotted yet. Back toward the middle, fielded by Giles. Fires to Rollins for 1, over to first. A 1-6-3 double play. Kenny Giles, another effective inning out of the bullpen. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Middle of the 8th. It's the Phils 4, the D-backs 2. Matt, it's time for our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Waters came back in the 2nd inning. Ryan Harris shows rain to his right. Makes a nice sliding catch, and then all of a sudden he gives the old submarine throw to Jimmy Rollins. Right on the money, no panic, and he gives the old point, saying he's pretty happy. That is your defensive play of the game, brought to you by Hyundai.
Kenny Giles just turned a double play, or helped turn a double play to finish up the top of the 8th inning. Now he's laughing a little bit at the kiss cam that's going on in the fan division. Randall Delgado will take over here at the bottom of the 8th inning. He's 1-2, an ERA of 5.01. And he will face Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Marlon Byrd. Chase today is 0 for 2. He's walked and scored a run. That was back in the 1st. Out of play, 0-1. Phillies will head to New York after this ball game. 3 games in New York, 2 night games in the day game, and then off to Washington. Bob McClure telling Kenny Giles, I would assume, that he's done.
That is good.
Yeah. He is that. Well, he goes basically one inning at a time. Sometimes he'll go two, but he is worth the price of admission. He grew up watching a lot of Diamondbacks games. He went to Yavapai College in Arizona. There's a big story in one of the Arizona newspapers about Ken Giles watching Curt Schilling when he was with the D-backs. Curt Schilling, Randy Johnson. Two at two to Chase Utley. You never heard of Yavapai Community College, Matt?
No. Kind of glad that's not a stump the question, because I would never ever guessed it. It's in the Phoenix?
It's in the, I believe it's in the Phoenix area. Swing and a miss. Utley out front. And Ryan Howard's due up. Well, it's time now for our AT&T fan photo of the game. How old do you think Greta is, Matt? Kim provides our AT&T fan photo. All right, well,
6 days. Oh, 1 month.
1 month old Greta. Appreciate you guys tweeting in that photo. You tweeted using hashtag #PhillyFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Howard takes it inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Part of the reason Giles grew up watching Schilling is because he went to Yavapai in Prescott, Arizona.
Who?
Curt Schilling.
Did it really?
Yeah. Do you need me to get you a fan?
I got hot up here all of a sudden.
T-shirts and fans. Those were the giveaways today. Matt needs one up in the booth. Howard tied up. It's 1 and 2. Or scorecards, whatever you can use to cool yourself off. Two balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Howard. Boy, Didi Gregorius is way out in shallow right field. And Howard's down looking. Back-to-back strikeouts. And here comes Marlon Byrd. On Saturday, August 9th, Charlie Manuel will take his rightful spot in the Phillies Wall of Fame. It's all part of Toyota Alumni Weekend. Pre-game ceremony. Chuck will be down on the field. Plus, all fans will receive the commemorative print compliments of Toyota. With Charlie holding the World Series trophy. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Marlon Byrd went around on that breaking ball. It's 0-1. Be nice to fill this place for Charlie and for that ceremony. I know Roy was, I think Roy tweeted out that he wants to fill the place on Friday night when his bobblehead is given out. Fill it the whole weekend. 0-2. There's Papelbon. Looks like he's going to come in. With the Phillies up by 2. Now the 1-2 pitch. Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Byrd. Foul tip, and the Phillies are down in order here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Delgado just overpowered the Phils 3, 4, and 5 hitters with 3 straight strikeouts. To the 9th we go, and Jonathan Papelbon will strut in to try to save this one. Delivery of the game. Today's delivery goes back to the 1st inning, and it was nice to see from Ryan Howard.
Yeah, it was a fastball low and away. First pitch swinging. Drives the ball out over the State Farm / golf area up there and puts the team up early in the game, 2-0. That is your delivery of the game, brought to you by WB Mason.
Jonathan Papelbon is on to pitch the top of the 9th inning. By the way, just to clean up some of the scoring from today, we had mentioned, and up until about 2 minutes ago, we had mentioned that the last 2 runs the Phillies scored were unearned runs. Well, the one in the 7th inning has now been scored an earned run because Ben Revere's ball is not an E7 anymore. It's a double off the glove of Peralta in lefts. And he goes to 3rd on the throw and gets an RBI. For what it's worth, David Peralta will lead it off here in the 9th. And Peralta takes a strike, 0-1. This is the play. Matt?
E7.
That's an error, yeah. He had a long way to go, but he was there. I mean, he's loop out to left. A base hit for Peralta. So that means the tying run is coming to the plate with Paul Goldschmidt against Papelbon. Goldschmidt's 0 for 2. He's fly to center. He's grounded out. He had a sac fly his last time up. The 300th RBI of his career. First pitch is over. It's 0-1.
Defensive alignment, all the outfielders are pretty much one step from the warning tracks.
Yeah, they are deep all the way around from left to right. 0-2. Wade to the slurve.
And this is where it comes back to with the scouting report with all the players that Cody Ashley usually you'd think that he'd be guarding the line a little bit closer, but with all the reports that Goldschmidt hits the ball up the middle a lot.
Strikes out also, and there's the first strikeout of the day for Papelbon. One away here in the top of the 9th. And Miguel Montero is coming up.
Good sequence of pitchers come up here with the 0-2 fastball. He really didn't have a good pass at any pitch that whole at bat.
He just must not have seen the ball coming out of Papelbon's hand. Well, with one away, Montero, who is 0 for 3, he's grounded out twice. He is struck out. He's hit it to 10 double plays this year. 0-1 as he takes one at the knees. Fastball at 91 for Papelbon. Papelbon with 310 career saves. He's tied with Goose Gossage for 21st place all time. One more save and he'd be tied with Tom Henke, who has 311.
Tom Henke and Papelbon are similar pitchers. The way they threw the fastball, they both had very good split finger fastballs.
And a liner to left field, a base hit. That puts runners on first and second. Philly fans getting a little uneasy, as you would expect. Coming up after the ball game, Ben Davis gives us a breakdown of today's ball game. It's our series finale, the Phillies and the D-backs. It's only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Postgame Live. Ben will give his perspective on Roberto Hernandez today. Vidal Nuno, Ryan Howard's home run, that play at the plate. Actually, both plays at the plate. His former catcher certainly understands what Miguel Montero was going through. All right, Prado now 1 for 3 today. He's got 2 on with 1 out. Taking all the way. Chopper back toward the middle. Rollins near the bag. Has it. Steps on the bag. Throws to first in time. And the Phillies have won a Sunday ball game. They've taken 2 of 3 from the Arizona Diamondbacks. They win it today by a final of 4-2. Papelbon works around 2 hits to pick up his 311th career save. And he's tied with Tom Henke for 20th place. Ryan Howard homered in the first inning and then scored the go-ahead run for the Phillies. And Roberto Hernandez, well, 75 pitches, and he's our player of the game. Brought to you by Chevrolet. He was really good today.
He was. He was down in the zone. 75 pitches. Got a lot of ground balls. I thought early in the game his changeup was very good. He just had the hitters out in front and over and over and over, ground balls again for us.
13 ground balls overall for Roberto Hernandez. He got the tap on the shoulder when he had 75 pitches. He didn't want to turn and answer it. But Kenny Giles and Jonathan Papelbon were able to close the door and give the Phils the victory. They win it 4-2. They take 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks. We'll be back to Citizens Bank Park to wrap things up right after this.